I think about 10 years ago I came up to Kirklees and did a training programme thing with Carl on public speaking, and I almost certainly said to him, never put up a slide and read out what's on it. I'm about to do just that. Okay, so a couple of years ago I was working in South Birmingham, training up, teaching a lot of public servants from the NHS and from the council and from the police about ways to use social media to broaden the range of the ways in which they involve the public. And we talked quite a lot. As we were doing this, they became more and more conscious of the fact that their traditional meetings, their police priority setting meetings, their ward committee meetings weren't really, they'd always known they weren't that fit for purpose. They became more and more conscious of how unfit for purpose they were. But it seems to me it's a huge leap to go from for some people to just stop having ward committee meetings and start doing other things. So I just sort of sketched out these 5 principles based on the 5 stars of open data that Tim Berners-Lee had for simple ways in which you can gradually improve what you're doing in terms of those public meetings. So here they are. I'll just whiz through them. So the first one seems to me that quite a lot of public meetings, you don't know when they are, you don't know where to find the information, and when you turn up, nobody even says hello to you and asks you what your name is and gives you a cup of tea. So they're not even welcoming. So start with being welcoming and make sure that your information is somewhere easy to find. Use Eventbrite to invite people, put it on a Google Doc, your agendas, make it easy. If your current systems are broken, use modern systems that aren't broken to make it easy. Talk about what you're doing. So in advance of the meeting, go online, talk about what's going to happen at the meeting, what the political issues are, what's on the agenda. The third one is do that live. So, you know, why do you have a minute-taking process that lasts for weeks? Why don't you just live blog your minutes and also encourage people to come along and live blog and tweet from your meeting? The fourth one is that about actively involving people outside the room. So you've now got yourself to the point where you are communicating routinely what is happening. Start bringing in ideas and conversations and suggestions from outside the room. The fifth one, Spencer, if you can just go down, oh, you can see it, is actually really where we're trying to get to. And I think that these are just sort of baby steps towards that, which is to recognise that the meeting is only a tiny part of the democratic process you're involved in, and that actually it is one huge conversation. And you can hold meetings that take part in that conversation, but they're not the point. The point is the wider conversation. And there's a couple of other things that I realised in terms of making sure that this isn't too intimidating. Because when you look at it, it seems sort of eminently sensible, but for organisations that are constrained in the way they use technology and they're constrained in the way in which they like information to flow, these can be quite challenging processes. So I also suggested that essentially you need to keep it simple. The way to do that is to use the tools available to you. It could be the phone in your pocket, and to go where people are. So if you're going to really have productive meetings, find out where people are and go to them there. And that's it. It's not complicated. I'm not trying to make it complicated. But if you ever find yourself in front of somebody who wants to stick to one man in a dog in a drafty hall as the only way they communicate with the public for a meeting, maybe bring this up and see if you can get them onto numbers 1 star or possibly 2, or gradually down to 3 and 4 and possibly even 5. And good luck with that.